Hey there, I'm Mike. Today I'm going to show you how to calibrate the Greer Insight LMI system. To do that, all you need is a digital level that is accurate to 0.1 degrees and a digital multimeter. Before we get started, make sure you read, understand, and obey the manufacturer's instructions and safety rules, your employer's safety rules and worksite regulations, and all applicable governmental regulations. You also ought to make sure you have the appropriate tools, lifting equipment, and a suitable workshop. The overall condition of the equipment, maintenance, and inspection procedures are just as important as safe operating procedures and a positive attitude towards safety. All these procedures properly applied will significantly reduce the likelihood of an accident or equipment failure. Finally, feel free to pause the video at any time to make sure you're doing each step safely and correctly. All right, before you start the calibration process, you need to be sure the crane is properly set on level ground per the manufacturer's specifications. Since maximum boom height will be needed, you've got to make sure the area is free of any overhead obstructions. You also want to configure all the options such as jibs, flies, and auxiliary heads in the computer. Once you've established a safe working environment, you're going to enter the calibration mode of the Insight unit. To do this, the actual crane setup must be reflected on the display. Now, to enter calibration mode, you need the display to be in normal operating mode. Then press the calibration button if you can see it on the screen. The icon will be scales. The display should prompt you for the security code. You're going to need to enter the security key sequence within 5 seconds or the system will revert to the normal operating mode. You can see the sequence order here. If you don't see the calibration button, press and hold the indicated button simultaneously until you get a prompt for the security code. Once the security code has been entered, the display will show this menu. Scroll through the menu options by pressing the menu up or menu down buttons. To select an item, just press the button next to the menu listing. Now, the main menu items used to calibrate the system are 020 sensors, 03 span sensors, and 04 swing sensors. The only calibrations we need are for the boom extension function and the boom angle function. They've got to be properly set to 0. The swing will be disabled since we don't use them on Elliott units. Next, boom angle functions need to be given a value in order for the span to be calculated. These numbers are determined using a digital level on the boom angle. To calibrate the extension sensor to 0, start by fully retracting the boom and lower it to 0 degrees while using a digital level. Then remove the cover from the reeling drum to expose the base plate sensor assembly. Next, you're going to rotate the extension sensor gear clockwise until the clutch drags or clicks, and then rotate a half turn counterclockwise. You should see the voltage reading between the blue wire and the white wire on the terminal block measures between 0.15 and 0.35 volts. If it is outside the voltage, just rotate the gear until you should have the right voltage with the boom fully retracted. Now press the menu up button until 020 sensors is reached. Then press the 020 sensors button one time and the screen should look like this. After that, you're going to press the 0 extension button and that will bring up a prompt. Press the Yes Calibrate button to calibrate to 0. Once you see the retracted boom length displayed in the boom length window on your screen, the extension sensor 0 calibration is complete. Great work. All right, we're moving on to calibrating the angle sensor 0. The angle sensors are preset to 0 on the potentiometer before leaving the factory. If the potentiometer is disturbed, the 0 setting might be affected. If this happens, the angle sensor won't be accurate. But we can re-establish the factory setting by loosening the attaching screws and rotating the pot until you get the right voltage reading. To do this, start by raising the boom to 0 degrees. Double check this measurement with a digital level. Then check the voltage between the blue wire and the green wire. It should measure between 0.400 and 0.600 volts in the right position. Next, you're going to enter the 020 systems menu. Press the menu up button to display 0 angle and click on the 0 angle button. Finally, press Yes Calibrate to complete the routine. Okay, next we're moving on to calibrating span of extension and angle. Take a minute to make sure the area overhead above the crane is clear of any obstructions before you start this next process. All right, begin by raising the boom to between 60 and 65 degrees and then fully extend the boom. Record the measurement from the digital level because we'll use this later on. Next, from the main screen, press the menu up button until 03 span sensors is reached and click on that button. Then press Yes Calibrate. The span of extension is now calibrated and the maximum boom length will be displayed. Press the menu up button to access the span angle option. Press the span angle button and here is where you enter the current reading you got from the digital level. Use the following screen to enter the number and be sure to include a decimal point. The lower left and lower right buttons are used to select the number. In the image here, the number 3 inside the brackets is the current selection. You can use the upper left button to enter the numbers one at a time. When the number is entered, then press the upper right button to enter it into the system memory. When that's done, the extension and span calibration routine is complete. Now, Elliott does not utilize the swing sensor, so it may be necessary to disable the functionality in the calibration menu. To do this, enter the calibration menu and press Menu Up to display 04 swing sensor and press that button. Then press the Menu Up button to display the Remove Swing Sensor option and press that button. When you are prompted with a "Are you sure?" press the Yes button. The swing sensor is now disabled and the swing angle window will display Not Available instead of a number. Now that your calibration routine is complete, you're going to want to test the unit to ensure the radius on the unit is accurate to plus half of a foot. No negative tolerance is acceptable here. In order to perform this load testing, a known weight is necessary. You can perform testing from 2 to 3 different boom angles as well as extensions. The load needs to be within plus 10% when testing. No negative tolerance is acceptable here. If the load is outside these limits, then the calibration should be rechecked for accuracy. Once your calibration of the Greer Insight LMI system is complete, you are all set. If you need more help, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our service techs at 531-772-0829. And make sure you check out our other technical support videos at elliotequip.com.